Hello Uplanders, I'm YK2012, founder of the Upland Guide, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Hyperloop. As you know, there are many different types of modes of transportation in Upland, that being a bus, a train, a plane, and a Hyperloop. And the first three everyone's familiar with, but this fourth one, the Hyperloop, I'm not so sure that everyone's familiar with what it is. In addition to explaining how the Hyperloop works in Upland, I'm going to also discuss a little bit about what the Hyperloop is and how it actually is going to work in real life. Within Upland, the only two cities currently utilizing the Hyperloop are Cleveland, which you see here, and Chicago. There are plans, however, to expand this also to Pittsburgh and maybe even to Detroit. Since Upland is mapped over the real world, it makes logical sense to come and take a look and see what exactly the Hyperloop has planned for the real world. And this is a Great Lakes Hyperloop feasibility study, which was released in 2019. And this study was prepared by the Transportation Economics Management Systems Incorporated for the Northeastern Ohio Area-Wide Coordinating Agency in cooperation with Hyperloop Transportation Technologies Incorporated. And this is the company that is developing the Hyperloop itself and the company that exists within Upland that operates the Hyperloop between Chicago and Cleveland. Here we can see a map of the Great Lakes area, and the Great Lakes area, for anyone who is unfamiliar with this part of the geography, is referring to these 5 different lakes where the border between Canada and the United States runs between these 4 lakes. So this blue line here is actually the border. So this whole region is often called the Great Lakes region. And we can see here that there are different cities that have plans to incorporate this Hyperloop, where the first phase will connect Chicago, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh using this green line here. And the second phase will connect other areas and cities and states. As the second phase of the Hyperloop, we can see these blue lines are branching out from this main line here. So some going all the way up to Minneapolis, Minnesota, over to Syracuse, Philadelphia, and even up here to Detroit. And at the time of creating this video, which is the middle of February 2022, there is some rumors going on that Detroit might be the next city to be released within Upland. And I think that it might even have a Hyperloop stop based on this information. So it will be interesting to see if that is actually the case. In Upland, there are 2 different modes of transportation between Chicago and Cleveland. You can travel either by Hyperloop or by train. The Hyperloop is obviously faster, but it does cost more money. So why would someone choose to take the Hyperloop instead of taking a train, which might be a little slower, but it will save you UPEX? And the reason for that might be if you're in a rush. Just like in the real world, if you're in a rush, you're going to want to take a faster mode of transportation. So let's say there's a business that is opened in Cleveland and you're currently treasure hunting in Chicago. Let's say you see someone list a legit in that store in Cleveland that you really need and you find a good price on it. You're going to want to travel as fast as you can to Cleveland in order to purchase it, in the hopes that no one will beat you to it. So in that instance, you might want to take the Hyperloop, where it would cost you a little more, but you'll get there faster. The same can be true in connecting between other cities where maybe there's a plane or a train option. So these are things that aren't so prevalent right now in Upland, but as the metaverse develops and there is more utility in stores as well as minting legits in stadiums, the factor of time that you spend traveling will become more important. The Hyperloop looks like a high-speed train, but it is very different from a train. You can see here that the speed at which a Hyperloop can travel can be up to 750 miles per hour, which is 1,200 kilometers per hour. So that is extremely fast. In comparison, a commercial jetliner can travel at about 450 to 570 miles per hour. In order to achieve these types of speeds, the Hyperloop is designed using some incredible technologies, and I'm going to describe that in a little bit in this video. The first thing to notice is the actual shape of the Hyperloop capsule itself. It's in the shape of the fuselage of an airplane in order to reduce the amount of friction and drag when traveling through the air at high speeds, and even speeds faster than an airplane. The Hyperloop does not travel on wheels like a train. It actually levitates above the tracks themselves, and this is done by magnetic force. So just like you would have two magnets, if you put them together, the plus and the minus side, they will actually come together, and if you were to flip one of those magnets around, then they would actually push each other apart. So that's essentially what's happening with the Hyperloop, where the track is pushing the capsule away from the track itself. The fact that there is no contact between the capsule and the track will reduce the amount of friction and the amount of energy that is lost when the capsule is in motion. Next, you can see that the capsule itself travels within a tube, and there are vacuum pumps that will suck the air out of this tube to a point where there is very little atmospheric pressure. This will enable the Hyperloop to travel more efficiently, using less energy and faster through the tube. Using regenerative braking, where the energy that is used to cause the Hyperloop to slow down actually recuperates that energy and is able to be reused. In addition, there will be solar panels laid on top of the roof of the Hyperloop structure itself in order to harness more energy from the sun, more renewable energies, in addition to harnessing the energy from the sun. The Hyperloop is able to return back a lot of the energy that it uses to the grid. When you compare that to regular trains, even buses and cars, it is very evident that this new type of technology will be able to do a lot of good things for the environment, and not only clear up a lot of congestion on the roads and highways, help people travel farther faster, but it is also going to help out our environment. In order to achieve these high speeds, as I described previously, a vacuum needs to be created. And you can see here that there are these vacuum pumps, which on the right hand side you can see them zoomed in, that all of this fits inside a standard shipping container. This shipping container is placed every 10 kilometers along the route of the Hyperloop, and this will suck out all the air from the tube to create this vacuum, enabling the Hyperloop to travel at its high speeds. At the bottom of this screen, you can see that at sea level, the atmospheric pressure is 101,000 pascals, or 101 kilopascals. And as we go higher, we can see Mount Everest, the height of a commercial airliner, where the pressure drops by 80% at that height. And we go even higher to the Armstrong limit. At the Armstrong limit, this is already at about 18 or 19 kilometers above sea level. And at this height, water can boil at the normal temperature of a human body. Going up higher to 126,000 feet, this is the point where the Red Bull Stratus jump was performed. For those who don't remember, in 2012, base jumper Felix Baumgartner took a supersonic freefall from 128,000 feet above the sea level. This is the picture just before he was about to jump out of this capsule, which he used helium balloons in order to get up to this height, and he jumped safely out of this capsule all the way down to Earth. Here we can see that the pressure inside the Hyperloop is 75% less than the pressure that Felix Baumgartner experienced at the height of his Stratus jump. And beyond this, we can see that here is the outer atmosphere, where this is a complete vacuum, where there is zero atmospheric pressure. So inside the Hyperloop tube, there is very, very little pressure, and that enables the Hyperloop to be able to travel at its fast speeds. Under the projects page of the Hyperloop website, we can see that the Great Lakes feasibility study is just one of the projects. The main R&D center is based out of Toulouse, France, and here you can see they've already created a test track of the Hyperloop where they are continuing to do different types of tests. There's a commercial prototype that is also being created in Abu Dhabi. Another use case for the Hyperloop is what they call the Hyperport, and this is being constructed in the port of Hamburg in Germany. Here we can see the same type of vessel, which is the Hyperloop, a lot smaller, and you can actually put a standard shipping container inside of it. So if we read here about this solution, this freight solution is capable of increasing capacity and efficiency while decreasing pollution and congestion at ports. This solution will be capable of transporting shipping containers hundreds of kilometers within minutes. The system can move 2,800 20-foot equivalent units in a day. This is all operating in an environment that will increase system reliability, efficiency, as well as worker safety. The Hyperloop isn't here yet physically, but it's really cool that Upland has a partnership with this company in order to bring the Hyperloop to us in the metaverse. If you want to learn more about this technology, you can check out their website in the description below. Please give this video a like, leave us any comments or questions, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.